First of all, good afternoon, Michael. It gives me just immense pleasure to welcome you on this beautiful podcast called Meet the Success Buddies. And this is a new initiative from my side, where I am inviting guests who are highly successful in diverse area of life to just touch the young life of a rural area of India. That is my inspiration and motivation. So for the audience, I just wanted to say a few lines for the audience who are listening to us for the first time. Michael Pope is a CEO of a Michael Pope Training LLC, a motivational speaker, the coach tech guy, a passionate and driven software developer, certified international John Maxwell team speaker, and neuro encoding specialist. Michael is a person with a lot of great skills. Michael, I'm very excited, and I was definitely waiting to have you on this show. I was eagerly waiting for you, because I know that this session can be a life-changing session for a lot of people, because I know the literal meaning of pop. Pop in Christianity, it is the messenger of God, and I know, Mike, you are a messenger of God. So
Oh,
to
thank you.
just
Thank you.
start with, Mike, how was the transition from a software developer, I would say a successful software developer, to a people developer? So how was the transition, and what
Yeah.
were the challenges and obstacles you faced?
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you, AJ. I am Michael Pope, the coach's tech guy now. And so I've been a software developer for the last 27 years. And so for me, that transition, it was a slow transition because I wanted to do it more balanced. Right. I went from loving what I do as a software developer to just liking it, enjoying it, right, enjoying the money.
Mhm.
But I knew that more of being a people developer, I can help others and really impact other people's lives. So for me, the transition was kind of like more of a balancing act where during the day I'm focused on my job, as a software developer. But then I started receiving certifications and training through Toastmasters and the John Maxwell team and other organizations, and learning how to coach people and mentor people and speak and train. And so that was pretty much my progression there.
Awesome, awesome. Great to hear that. And I love this word balance. When you say balance, managing a day, full-time job at a day, and in evening working on yourself, right? And have a
Mm-hmm.
desire to help people, building this beautiful company. I also personally believe in, work hard in your day job, and in evening try to do the things that inspires you to do.
Yes.
Really well said, Michael. So second question, Michael, for I know what you are doing, and you are doing such an amazing job trying to build self-confidence in people, right? Achieving success is a different thing, right? Being successful and then trying to help people on their journey, that's another aspect of it, right? Not a lot of
Absolutely.
people do that. It takes a lot of big heart, which you
Mhm.
have. So can you tell me about what your company does? Basically, I know what your company does. For my audience, what your company does and what kind of training you guys offer.
Yeah, so absolutely. So at Michael Pope Training, I work with a lot of speakers and coaches and small business owners, helping them to create systems and automations for their business. Like I work with a lot of coaches who are great at what they do as a coach,
Mhm.
but they don't know how to set up a landing page to get registrations, right? They don't know how to successfully run a webinar or event using Zoom or a platform like a StreamYard or Restream or any of those type platforms.
Exactly.
And I can help coaches really save time and money, right? So make sure they're
Yes.
they're using the right software
Mhm.
and they're using it effectively. That's kind of what I do.
Awesome. And Mike, one incident I remember during the initial days, uh, the first year when it was a virtual meeting, right? You were
Yes.
the one who educated everybody on the Zoom. I think we did division contest, and it was highly successful, all because of your training. You made sure that you have educated everyone to use Zoom, and it was such an incredible event, right? It went on
Yeah.
in entire District 40, right?
That was so important, right? So so you're referring to like the beginning of COVID.
That's correct.
For
Yeah.
my Toastmaster clubs, we never missed a meeting because I already knew the technology with Zoom, and because I was already using Zoom prior to COVID.
Right.
And when COVID hit, we were able to quickly transition to virtual meetings and things ran smoothly. And then when it came time to start moving towards more hybrid meetings, I was able to assist with that as well. And like you said, helping out the whole district.
Yeah, it was a big milestone, and it was ultra successful, I would say, because I was a part of that team, and you made sure that technological, like whatever you taught over Zoom, everybody understood, all the contestant, the speakers. So that was really amazing. So what I understand from you, Michael, is this company, right, your LLC, you just try to build, help speakers and coaches to build an automation framework, right? You help them with the technology, correct?
Yes, with the
You are
technology.
like, you focus on speaking, right? You try to help people, and I will help you in building what I got from the software knowledge, right? Software industry, correct?
Absolutely.
Using the technology and online, all the online presence, that is where you are trying to help them, correct?
Correct. And one of the benefits that I bring to the table is that I am a speaker myself. So I speak on, I've spoken on stages with over a couple thousand people, 2,000 people or so, live in person at the John Maxwell conference and other conferences where I've spoken live. And because I'm actively coaching and speaking, I'm able to help and really help coaches identify what they need to really maximize their business.
Yeah, you are not just a speaker, you are a dynamic speaker,
Oh,
and
thank you.
I have such an honor to be your friend, and I really feel grateful for that. And we will be talking a lot of good things about your experiences with John C. Maxwell later on in this podcast, right?
Okay.
So Michael, I remember I met you for the first time in year 2019 when I was area director. You were area director, right? So
yes,
during the first meeting I met you, the one thing which have always resonated with me about, and this is a great skill you have, is your ability, your desire to help people selflessly. I would say, if I have to summarize that in a word, it would be like servant leadership skills. You are a people person, right? So where does that come from? It was just from your childhood, or you just honed these skills over the period of time?
Yeah, so great question, AJ. So I tell you, so you mentioned that I'm a people person. I'm really not a people person. I'm a natural introvert. In fact, I have to work to get out my comfort zone just to really to talk and engage with people.
Right.
It's a learned skill. But when it comes to serving others, that has become part of who I am, and I owe it all to my grandfather. The example that he gave. So when I was a young boy, maybe around like 7 or 8. Really, as a young kid, I spent most weekends and a lot of days during the week at my grandparents' house around him. And when I was like 7 or 8 years old, my grandpa got sick and they had to amputate his legs. So he did some poor circulation. So they amputated his legs below the knee, and they gave him AJ 2 heavy prosthetic legs for him to strap on. So the majority of because of the pain of those prosthetics, he spent a lot of time crawling on his knees, but every once in a while he would strap on his legs because he loved serving other people. And we would go out, and he loved helping out the sick and shut in his neighborhood. So we would check the mail, he would go spend time with them, chat, see anything that he could do to help them out, cut their grass.
Right.
He would even drive them around. And I used to watch that, and I was like, man, why wouldn't he just stay home? Like I didn't understand why my grandpa would go through that pain just to help other people out. But as I got older, I started to understand, and it made sense to me. And then when I was I think I was 19 years old. I was just in college. I was in my second year in college, or first year in college, I think. And my grandpa got recognized for Thomas Jefferson Servant Leadership Award. And I actually have that award somewhere in this. Oh yeah, I actually have it here. So he received this medal here, if you can see it.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah. So, like our president, Thomas Jefferson. So it's the Thomas Jefferson Servant Leadership Award. Right. And it says, in recognition of outstanding public service.
Awesome.
And that inspired me to want to start making serving others part of who I am. And as you know, I mean, I served a whole lot in District 40, and I still do.
I know.
And I think, you said we met in 2019. So in 2019, that's when I was recognized as Toastmaster of the Year for District 40.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, I know that. Yeah.
But that was just from years of serving, and it wasn't really me trying to serve. It just came naturally to me. Like someone would ask for help, and I would say, yeah, let me help you out.
That's right. And you are absolutely right. Few incidents which you shared about your childhood, right? So we learned the values from our ancestors,
Yes. Hmm.
grandparents, and father. That is amazing to hear. But again, as you said, like Toastmaster District, you are not helping District 41. You were attending the like meetings from the entire world during the same time, and you were like some times when you are attending meeting from Germany, sometime from here.
Hmm.
So it was like just amazing. But I have I did a little bit of more research about you, and I
Okay.
know that in the year 2017, right, you and your wife Sonia become debt free, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And then you appeared live on July 10th, 2017 on Dave Ramsey show,
Yeah,
correct?
on Dave Ramsey show.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, you did
and
your research for
what an
sure.
amazing guy he is, right? I read his book
Yes.
called Total Money Makeover, and
Hmm.
those principles, I feel like it works. Last year I read it, and I feel like it gave me really good background, good principles to work on, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about like what are the principles? I know you know it, right? Just can you just tell about this audience about what are the principles you followed from the Dev
Absolutely.
Ramsey that helped you to become a financially debt free?
Yeah. So we went through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, and of course, read his book Total Money Makeover. And at the time when we did it, we were $119,000 in debt. We were. It was at a point where it's like we had so much financial pressure during that time. AJ, it's like it was just, here I am. I'm making a six-figure income in corporate America, but we're struggling financially with
Right.
no clue how to manage our money or where it's going. And so the principles we learned from Dave Ramsey was the first one was stop incurring debt, right?
Yes,
So he said, hey, stop using credit cards, stop borrowing money, right? Just completely stop doing that
yes,
altogether.
absolutely.
So that was the first thing. And then we implemented what Dave Ramsey called the debt snowball. And that's where you pay off your debt from smallest balance to the largest balance.
Right.
And you just focus on that with intentionality, right? You got that gazelle intensity and you're just focusing on paying off your debt. And that's what my wife and I did. So we paid off in 11 months, we paid off $119,000 using his debt snowball. And it's mainly because we stopped incurring a new debt. We cut our expenses as best we could, and we just focused on paying the debt off. And then we also started adding extra streams of income. Because before we started Dave's program, we only had one income. Like my wife had come home, she had come home to be a stay-at-home mom. And so we
Right.
just had my one job. But then once we started Dave's program, we started opening our eyes up to, okay, we need multiple streams of income. And I think that year we may have had income coming in from, it was either 4 or 5 different places where we had income coming in during that time, just through some different part-time things that we were doing. And that went to paying off our debt. And it was amazing. And we kept that going even after we had paid off that debt, to still keeping multiple streams of income. And I got multiple streams of income right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, it's so cool knowing that even if I stopped working at my full-time job, I
Right.
would still have enough coming in to take care of my basic necessities. And that's just a good feeling. It makes it so much easier for me to feel at peace when I'm working, feel at peace in times like this when the economy is a little iffy and people are like, I don't know whether I'm gonna, whether my company is gonna have to like downsize or lay off people or whatever because of the cost of the inflation of everything. And I'm at peace with all of that.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. And you laid out this really really beautifully. So the first thing is stop using credit cards, right?
Yes.
Don't get into debt. Even I
Stop
followed the
borrowing,
same
period,
thing.
right? No credit cards, no loans, no extra
Yeah,
car
just use
loans. No, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, don't
No cell
get
phone
loan.
loan, right? It's like you said.
Yeah, don't use credit card. Don't get loan, right? Use all your debit cards. Leave below your means, right? Don't
Yes.
and then whatever debt you have, try to pay it off from
Smallest.
smallest to the largest, and
Hmm.
again try to have an extra income, right?
Yes.
And And a number which I found on your website, and in fact that book was like really surprising to me, that 44, correct me if I'm wrong, 44% of people, they don't have 6 months of emergency fund if something happens to them in America, right? Though we are
Most
strongest
people don't
economy,
even
correct?
have 1 month.
Oh, 1 month. Sorry, not 6 months.
Yeah,
My bad. It's 1 month.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah. Like Dave recommends having 6 months of
Right.
an emergency fund, but yeah, but most people don't. Most people, they're 1 month away from having to file bankruptcy, right? Like they miss a paycheck, they're in trouble. And that's how we
Exactly.
were. We were
Yeah.
at a point where it's like it had good income coming in, but if it didn't come in, we'd have been in trouble.
I know, and Michael, as you mentioned a line that you were working in a corporate, right, where you
Yes.
were making six figures, but because you didn't had a financial plan, right, you were not able to get ahead, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think like the ideas which we have discussed right now will really help our audience, who has not read the book, So coming back again to your specialty, I know Michael loves personal development. You
Yes.
are a personal development trainer, and I am a great student of personal development. And one day, I am a trainer, but not at the level that you are right now. One
Oh,
day
you're
I will
ready.
be.
You just got to go
You
out
know,
there, go get it.
yeah, yeah. So I have two questions for you basically.
Okay.
So the first question is, I know what personal development is. You know what personal development is. Can you break down a little bit in a simple words what personal development is to you, and how people can work on their personal development?
Yeah, yeah. So for me, when I think about personal growth, so leadership expert John Maxwell says that growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better.
Right. Yes.
Meaning that we have to be intentional about our personal growth. And so what that looks like for me is that's the books that I read, it's
Mhm.
the courses or the training that I attend, the audio programs that I listen to.
Right.
That's all a part of that personal growth.
Got
So
you.
so it's really me learning more than I know right now in some area.
Got you.
And it's like, so for me, when I started in the IT world and as a software developer,
Right.
I used to spend a lot of my time, my personal growth time, reading software development books and learning from other people, because that
Yeah.
was where I was growing at.
Yes.
But now I focus more on personal growth. So my self-confidence,
Mhm.
my public speaking skills,
Right.
my mindset, my attitude, making sure that I've got a good can-do attitude,
Exactly.
which is important, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's important. That's true. Yeah.
yeah. It makes a
Absolutely.
huge difference. When I speak, I spoke at a conference not too long ago, and I talked about being a doer.
Yeah.
And one of the things about being a doer was I talked about personal responsibility.
Yes.
And with that personal responsibility, letting people know, hey, you're in complete control of your attitude if you choose,
Absolutely.
right? So it's like we can choose to be happy, we can choose to be optimistic.
Yes.
And and personal responsibility also means you're not blaming society or the economy or your job or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You're taking complete responsibility for it, and you're doing whatever you can control.
Got you. Got you. So what I understand, Michael, is personal development is all about working on yourself. So
Yes.
initially in your career, you used to hone your software developing skills, right?
Mhm.
That will give you an edge. But again, you were missing the parts in the puzzle, which is like honing communication skills, right?
Yes.
And and not working on this attitude like that I can do it. So right now you are trying to work on building the mindset. You already did that, and then you are trying to have the same kind of conviction, right? You go and speak with people, right? If I can do, be a doer, right? If I can do, you can do, right?
Yep.
There's a whole lot of science in it, right? And you are a good, I would say, a trainer and a student, right? First you were a student, and now you are a trainer, right? Where you learn from, I think, John C. Maxwell. I can't think any better leader in this world, I would say, not this
Yeah, John
country.
is amazing to learn
Yeah,
from.
John is amazing. So I will go back also, because I read a lot of great books from John Maxwell. What a great author and a leader he is, Michael. So in personal development, you would like to recommend people to read great books, right? And take
Yes.
some courses on personal development, attend some seminars, correct? And work
Right.
on building the self-confidence.
Yeah.
Again,
And
amazing.
one of the things that like John Maxwell teaches is, right, do personal development in areas of your strength
Yes.
or the areas of your desire. So like for me, for years, I knew that I wanted to be a professional paid speaker.
Right.
So that's why I attended Toastmasters meetings and I gave speeches over and over and over in Toastmasters clubs because I knew that was my goal. So that was the area I was focused on, personal development. And even now, I read books on personal development. I attend seminars and training on public speaking because I want to get better in that area.
Awesome, awesome. And I also love reading books from John C. Maxwell. Michael, I know that your favorite book is 15 Laws of Invaluable, 17 or 15 Laws, right?
15 Laws of Growth is my favorite. That's the one on personal growth.
Yeah, I know that. The first book which I read from John C. Maxwell was Becoming a Person of Influence. That
That's
is book
great.
number one. And the second book was Today Matters. That is also a great book from him. But I have to read that 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. I have heard great things about that.
That's a really good book. Yeah.
Awesome. So
but all his books are good.
Yeah, Michael, I knew that you were admired, you were appreciated in the Toastmaster fraternity, right? Because you believe in dynamic leadership. You have given 18 years of your life to Toastmasters International, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. So it is again beautiful. That was that club has helped you to become from a software developer to a people developer, correct?
Yes.
So how was it that being an accomplished speaker or achieving the highest level in that fraternity and then going back again as a student in John Maxwell team, right? And going through the trainings, correct? And achieving an award, exceeding expectation out of 35,000 participants, right? So how was your experience being in the John Maxwell team? What are the things you have learned, and how is the aura of John Maxwell? I know that you might have met him personally, so
Yes.
how does that feel, that sharing a podium with 1,500 people audience? Like, how was that? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so you asked the whole lot there, so I'll break it down for you a little bit. So
definitely
for me, so Toastmasters taught me. So when I joined Toastmasters, like I said, 18 years ago,
right,
I was terrified of public speaking to the point where I remember grabbing my notes and shaking and all that, dry mouth, terrified of public speaking. But I knew that was the next step I had to take in my personal development, my personal growth journey.
Right.
So Toastmasters prepared me for the Maxwell team.
Gotcha.
Because in Toastmasters, I started training at the TLIs, the Toastmaster Leadership Institute opportunities, our club officer trainings. I did lots of training throughout our district. I started speaking at every single conference that we had in our district at Toastmasters. And that prepared me. So when I joined the John Maxwell team I joined in November 2019. So when I joined the team, I went in that growth mindset, but then I also went in knowing that I had to make it work. Because my wife and I were like, "Okay, you're putting an investment of money and time in this.
Yes,
we got to make sure that we can make it work." And so that's what I did, and that helped me to quickly have success with the Maxwell program, which quickly led me to being asked to be a part of their faculty with the Maxwell team, right? So you look at like John Maxwell team worldwide. I mean, there's 40,000 members worldwide or so.
How many?
I'm not sure how many are part of the English platform.
40,000 worldwide.
Yeah, over 40,000 worldwide. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's massive, right?
Yeah, it is.
And so, and then I was asked to be a part of the faculty, which the faculty is less than 100 people.
Right.
So it's that small community that I was asked to be a part of, just because I was doing the same thing I did in Toastmasters, right? Serving other people, helping other people out, doing effective training, and keeping it simple where everybody can understand what I'm talking about. It opened up those opportunities for me. And then you asked about meeting John. Yeah. So being a part of the faculty, I've been able to be in those small settings where it's like, even at the conference, it might be 2,000 people in the conference, but I'm in a room with John with maybe 40 people where I'm sitting right there with him. So which is cool, right?
It is
just
cool,
to be able to really interact with him and see him laugh at things and see him like tear up a little bit when he's talking about something. I mean, it's just so cool being that close in a room.
Yeah.
And then that's also opened up doors for me to work with Joseph McClendon. So Joseph McClendon III, he speaks with Tony Robbins on stage,
Got you.
and he has the Neuro Encoding Institute. So I'm part of his faculty as well,
Yes, yeah.
which is cool because I'm able to like, I've got his personal cell phone number, and he's so great to be around. Someone who speaks on stages with over 10,000 people at a Tony Robbins event, to be working with him directly and be able to be part of his, be mentored by him is just such a cool feeling.
Yeah, that was my next question, but because can you just tell a little bit about what neuro encoding is? I mean, sharing stage with Tony Robbins, like it's an amazing experience. Nobody can experience better like that. What a great guy he is. So can you talk about what neuro encoding is, Michael?
Yeah, so essentially what Neuro Encoding is, I'm gonna see if I can say it clearly or whatever to make sure everybody understands it.
Yes.
But it's an amazing program that was started by Joseph McClendon III.
Mm-hmm.
And so what it does is it helps you to program your nervous system to be at your best.
Right.
Right. So like a lot of us, you kind of want to be able to program yourself for success. So there's like when something happens, you automatically respond with confidence and assurance because you've programmed your mind for success. Exactly. And for me, being a software developer, like I got it right away because I understand how you can, if you have a really quality software program, it's going to work as expected, right? Correct. And that's how our minds are once you program it correctly. And so Joseph McClendon, his program helps you overcome procrastination, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of success, self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Like, so those things that really stop people, his coaching program and really his neuroencoding philosophy can really help you overcome that pretty quickly and create lasting results, which I absolutely love about it.
Absolutely, neuroencoding. And I feel the work they are doing, John C. Maxwell or Joseph McClendon, or Tony Robbins or Michael Pope, these are the noble work, I would say, because like you are trying to, help people, right? Believing that it's possible. So I feel like this job is not very easy, first of all, because when you are a doctor, right, you try to treat patient, you give anesthesia to, patient, right? And here you are trying to help people to just build their mindset, correct? So that requires, as you said, a lot of training, a lot of reading, a lot of people development, right? Meeting a lot of people, right? So and then you said like in neuro encoding, I absolutely loved it, like the neuro encoding.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like it's different. So I love the personal growth and the leadership stuff from the Maxwell team. But that neuro encoding thing, I mean, I've been able to apply that to every area of my life to create those lasting results. And it's amazing.
It's amazing. I know. Also, Mike, despite of enormous success, huge success in your corporate career, in your leadership career, I would say, and then again, and in the training, right? I also know that you are into a successful relationship. You have been married with your wife for 25 years. 25 years, Sonia, and right now you're busy, not busy. You are flourishing, right? Enjoying those moments, raising 3 kids, right? Yes. 3 children, I would say, not kids. So how is that? How is that experience? How do you balance it out, right? How do you balance it out in such a busy schedule?
I tell you, so thankfully for me, I mean, my wife she's amazing, first off, but she's very supportive in what I'm doing.
Awesome.
And because we're on the same page, it makes it where if let's say I have a meeting like this, then she'll take care of the kids. If they need to go somewhere, like she'll do that part. Because she still doesn't really work outside the house. She added another stream of income with some work that she does on the side, but she doesn't, she doesn't have a full-time job or anything like that.
Got you.
So we're able to balance things out. But it's mainly because we communicate about our goals and it keeps us on the same page. And so it just makes it that much easier, where it's like, I know everything's going to be taken care of. I can do the business. I can do things I need to do. And I know that the household is going to be taken care of and that everybody's going to be happy. So I'm able to operate stress-free.
Gotcha.
And just be productive because I have a big enough why of my family that helps me stay productive too.
Got you. So it is moreover like Sonia knows that what you need from life, right? And it is
Yes.
just about understanding each other, right? And I'm hoping that she's also driven like Michael is,
Oh,
that
she's
at
very,
least, yeah,
yeah.
at least Michael is like managing the external world, right? Training people, and she makes sure that the children are getting the right education, right? She is always there to help them. And in fact, I know that you are also there. You spend time with them in Gatlinburg, doing all the cool stuff with them, so
Yeah, we got some cool things we'll be doing this weekend together.
great. So Michael, 25 years, like, right? Huge accomplishment. My wife and me, I'm celebrating 2 years of marriage anniversary, next year, next month.
Yeah, I remember seeing the pictures. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are all the pictures, whatever you are seeing, I will send you that. These are all the beautiful pictures we have from wedding and all the trips we did, in US. So what are the few suggestions you would like to give somebody who is just starting their relationship? Maybe one or
Yeah,
two
so
suggestions.
well, I know something that really helped my Sonya and I out was communicating our goals with each other, to each other, and making
Gotcha.
sure that we're in agreement. So that way, I'm not doing, I'm not thinking one thing and she's thinking another thing, and then it creates argument. Like I see that a lot of times with younger couples where even when
Mhm.
the thing about kids, right? One person may not want to have kids at all, and another person does want to have kids, but they
Yeah,
didn't talk about that beforehand,
that's right.
and that can create some conflict there. And then another thing is get on the same page with money,
I got you.
because most relationship issues have, come from money issues.
Right.
You know, lack of money, spending money in wrong places. And so we made an agreement when we started with Dave's program that we were going to talk about money. We still do like monthly budgets and all that,
Got
but
you.
we also communicate about purchases that we're going to make. So that way I'm not just going and buying something just because. I make sure that we have a conversation about it beforehand. Now, something small. I mean, I purchased a new mic that I ordered from Amazon today. I
Yeah.
didn't talk to her about that, but right. I didn't ask her about that. But there's a lot of things, especially when we were getting out of debt. We talked about every purchase we made just to make sure we're on the same page. But now we make sure we talk about the big things that we're gonna do. And right now, like my wife she's out of the country in Israel because an opportunity came up. Like it wasn't a perfect timing for us from a family perspective with Thanksgiving and kids' birthday and all that type of stuff, whatever. But it
Right.
was a great opportunity for her to go.
Got you.
But and we talked about it and we were like, okay, it sounds like a good fit for our family. So yeah, you do that.
Awesome. So, what I understand, Mike, is it is just about communicating your goals, right?
Yes.
Setting the right expectation, right? Have a open discussion, right? That, hey, look, these are the things I'm going to do, right?
Mhm.
And then having the conversation about money, right? So these are the things like that really helps in kind of cementing a good relationship, correct? So
Yes, absolutely. Makes a big
yeah,
difference.
just one personal question. How do you manage time with such commitments right now you have going on? Huge commitments.
Calendar, right? I put it on my calendar. And I'm also willing to let go of things that don't really add value to me. So
Got
as
you.
an example, right, living here in Cincinnati, I haven't seen a single Bengals game all year.
I see.
It's like I might watch part of sports if I'm available, but it's really not my focus right
Makes
now.
makes sense. So it is about like setting priorities, right? And
Yes.
setting events on Google Calendar. I feel like that really helps. Having Google Calendar and then saying no to the things that matters least to you,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right. You got to say no to something. Even like good opportunities. I've said no to good opportunities because it just wasn't going to fit in everything I've got going on.
Absolutely, Michael. And I mean, there is so much to learn from you, personally. Like, I personally believe in being a good student, a lifelong learner. And I know that Michael is also a lifelong learner. And
Yep.
now you are also trying to teach the same thing to people across across the United States, right? So what
Across
I'm
the
going to
world, really.
do.
I got clients all over the world now, which is pretty
Oh, in
cool.
the world. So Michael, what I'm going to do is when I end this podcast, and at the description section, I'm going to have a link for your website, so
Okay.
that people can, if they want to learn more from you, right, they can book events, right, great events you offer, so that like if they are in different part of world, right, they can attend your virtual meetings, right, where you
Yeah,
talk
absolutely.
about financial freedom, right, and you conduct lunch and learn session, right, you conduct a corporate talk. So I'm going to do that because I have some contacts in India in corporate. I work there, so that
Okay.
will really help them as well, and you will also get an opportunity to work with different people in different parts of the world.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, now it's time for me for we since we came to the end of this podcast, I have couple of rapid fire questions for you, right?
All right.
So I'll be asking you some questions where I need just either a single word or a 1 or 2 line sentence. What role Michael loves, people developer or software developer?
People developer.
I knew that. If not software development, if not people development, what career Mike would have been?
Teaching.
Teaching. I know you are a good teacher. Great. What is the one dream which Michael is chasing right now?
Ooh, that's tough. I'd say probably early retirement from corporate,
Early retirement. Great. Toastmaster International or John Maxwell leadership team?
Oh,
If you have
definitely
to
John
opt one,
Maxwell. Yeah, John Maxwell.
John Maxwell. Great. What is the one message, Michael, you want to give to this world? If, that the message that they want to have a best year next year. Like what is the one message you want to give to them?
Yeah, so I say be people focused. So behind me, one of my clients gave me this. Right. So this is the message I will leave with you. Remember, they may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And that's all about being people
Absolutely,
focused.
absolutely. Yeah, they may forget what you said, but they will never
Never
forget
forget
how
how
you
you.
made them feel. So
Yes.
be people focused. That's the message you want to give to the young audience. Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
You're
You are a
welcome,
true
AJ.
messenger of God,
Yes.
a person who has always believed in spreading positivity and showing people the path less traveled. I and my family sincerely thank you, Michael, from deep of my heart for spending today time with me and helping my audience, to just talk about some great things. Thank you once again, Michael. And I have small gift for you, which I will send you.
All right. Hey, great connecting back with you, AJ.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to meet you in person very soon. Thank you, Michael. Have
Yes,
a
yes. We'll
good
talk
day.
more.
Yeah,
Have a
thank
good
you.
one.
Appreciate it once
Bye-bye.
again. Bye bye.